we have a number of individuals in the audience that I'd like to acknowledge. Everybody here, first of all, we know it's a VIP. So, first of all, big round of applause for everybody who made time to be here this evening, please. As Mayor Rose once taught me, you gotta make sure that you recognize your bosses. And I have a couple of my bosses here with me tonight. We have the chairman of our board, Abe Arvizu, please. And we have one of our board members, Napoleon Pisteno, who's also here from Mesa, but who's also very, very interested in issues having our community. So Napoleon, thank you for being here. As I mentioned, we have a number of elected officials, and I'd like to recognize them for making time from their business schedules to be here. We have Councilman Johnson, who is here representing District 8. We have Supervisor Mayor Rose Wilcox, always a supporter of our community. We have Representative Gallegos. I saw him earlier. There he's in the back. Politicking as always. Come on, take a seat, relax. Two individuals that never need an introduction. One of them is already Alfredo Gutierrez, who's here a long time representing our community. And the other one is obviously Earl Wilcox as well. So Earl, thank you very much.
Any statements, then we'll go alphabetical. I'm sorry. Kate, please.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you to our hosts for bringing this important debate into the community, and it's wonderful to be at the Kroc Center. Always like to bring people from other parts of Phoenix here and show them that we have, in fact, the nicest pool in the city of Phoenix, right here in District 8. So if you haven't seen it, I would definitely encourage everyone to stop by on your way. I'm Kate Gallego, and I hope to be your next District 8 City Councilwoman. I'm so happy to be here in this community, which has so many great resources, from the airport to the rail to important sites in civil rights history. But we don't always get our fair share of city resources, as Edmundo said in his introductory statement, and I'm hoping to really fight to change that. So I focused my campaign on 3 issues. 1, economic development, which we'll be talking about, I gather, in the next question. 2, infrastructure, including the infrastructure to help people to get to all those great jobs that we hope to be creating. And 3, public safety. It's been so hard talking to people about that particular issue lately. I spoke to one voter who'd been burglarized 5 times, another who came home this weekend and had no car in the garage after going away for a vacation. So there's a lot of challenges facing this community, and we have not always gotten in our fair share of police resources and others, so hope to bring my background to fight for that. I've been the most involved with the City of Phoenix, leading 2 commissions, serving as the Vice Chair of the 10-year plan for the City of Phoenix and the Environmental Quality Commission. I've also been able to work with the City of Phoenix through my position in doing economic development for SRP, where we try to work to bring more jobs to the area and to help the companies that are already here grow. And we have a lot of economic development challenges, so I hope that my experience will help me be the right councilwoman for District 8. Thank you.
Carolyn T.
I'm Carolyn T. Lar. Originally from Louisiana, and been out here in Phoenix for about 60 years. Lived in South Phoenix about 50 years. Love South Phoenix. Still trying to make some history as the first black woman to do anything here. And at least sit on the city council. Ain't you right? Are you ready for me? I mean, it's time. It's time. People ask me why am I running? I'm running because I don't have no choice. I can't depend on these people to get me where I gotta go. And I want to live until I die. So I'm hoping that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the lies and the promises of all these old politicians, and you're ready for a change. So if you want change, you want Carolyn T. Lar. You know what I mean? You bet you if you vote for me, you won't be sorry. That's what time it is.
All right. Thank you, Lawrence Robinson.
Well, thank you for having me. This really is a jewel of our neighborhood, and it's really a nod to the future of what our district should be. But I want to talk about what our district is. Our district is somewhere where I was born. It's my hometown. It's someplace that I believe is worth fighting for. And I think our #1 resource in this district, yes, is the airport. It is the resources that we have in terms of our geographic proximity, but the #1 resource are our people. We have more diversity, we have more ingenuity, more entrepreneurship in this district than any other in the city. And I should know, I was raised by a mother who opened up a small business, a daycare center, built it from scratch, just a few miles from here, right here in the district. I was born to a father who worked at the Black Chamber of Commerce and with our first Latino governor, Castro, to bring jobs and economic development right here to our neighborhoods and to our city as a whole. And I also have a team that we like to call the Rise of South Phoenix, a team that includes people like, and they're here, and they're proud to be part of that team. They're a team that looks like this city. They're every shade and hue of it. And they include people like Norma Munoz, whose family roots go back 100 years in this district. It really is the time where we unify our people and talk about what we're going to do with this city council seat, not just who should occupy it. Many people want to make this race about each of us. I'm trying to make the race about that resource I talked about, which is you. You might have read today in the paper, we all talked about what our #1 priority would be when we reach the city council. Mine was protecting our vital city services. I'm the only candidate in this race who has vowed to protect 100% of those services, our fire and police officers, our parks and our pools, to make sure that we make this a city that is not only prepared to promote the next generation of leaders through our education system, but also is prepared to equip the people who deserve the economic development. And those are our neighbors. Economic development should start in our neighborhoods. I represent the neighborhoods, and I want to represent them on the council, and so I ask for your vote. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'd like to thank Chicanos por la Causa for the invitation to this forum. I cherish the opportunity to have a forum with all the other candidates so that you can see the differences between us and see who you want to represent you. My campaign is based on 3 basic things: what government is supposed to be about, security, infrastructure, and the rule of law. That is what all governments are designed to provide. And with those things, everything else comes out of there. Economic opportunity, businesses, entrepreneurship, education. But without any of those 3 pillars, it's very difficult for any community to try to get out from where it's at. And that's where we need to change. I'm also about accountability, efficiency, and accessibility to our government. Accountability. We've got a food tax that has been going on for years and years, which was supposed to help with fire, police. We haven't hired a police officer since 2008. Where's the accountability for that money? Your money. They're charging you every time. For a family that spends $100 on groceries, that 2%, that 2.48% is a gallon of milk. That's a gallon of milk they don't have now. Where's that money going? Accountability. Where's our government taking us? That they're not using the money that they say that they're using for what its intended purpose is. Efficiency. We need to be much more efficient in government so that entrepreneurship and businesses can flourish in the district. We need to look at zoning laws. We need to look at city ordinances and make things as efficient as possible for those things to grow easily. And we need accessibility. There's too many people that feel left out of the process. They don't know who to go to. They don't know what they can do, what government can do for them. And I hope to change that. And that's why I want to be your councilman. Thank you.
Reverend Warren Stewart.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Thank you, Chicanos por la Casa and Univision, for sponsoring this forum tonight. Thank you, Salvation Army, for opening your doors in District 8. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for your leadership. To Edmundo and all of the staff and directors and volunteers and workers of Chicanos por la Casa, thank you for being the kind of community organization that has lifted up the pillars of economic justice, education, health and human services, and education. That's really what my platform is all about. That's what I've been doing for the last 36 years. To my wife and to the candidates, Supervisor Mary Rose Wilcox, who is the first and only Latina elected to be on the Phoenix City Council, and to all of you, my brothers and sisters. I'm Pastor Warren Stewart, but I'm more than Pastor Warren Stewart. I don't talk about myself a lot because in my career they teach us to talk about God, not to talk about yourself. So I asked God for permission tonight to say a little bit about what he's done through me. We had a debate last week and some of the reports were that there were no clear differences between the candidates. Well, I beg to differ about that. I take issue with that because there are differences, there are big differences. For the last 36 years I've lived in Phoenix, I get up every morning to do justice, to do right by people. In the 70s, I worked with mayors on city commissions and committees, bringing equality to all people. In the 80s, I worked with Councilman Calvin Good and others to bring forth the district system, to give Hispanics and African Americans a place on the seat. And now I'm fighting for justice. I'm fighting for comprehensive immigration reform so that dreamers can have their dream fulfilled, so that families can stay together, and so that Joe Arpaio will get out of our community. That's why I want to serve and take this district to the next level.